welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Purity. Yes, also welcome to this beautiful channel. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and I also love reading your comments, so you can freely comment. Today we are crocheting this beautiful sweater. It has white and red colors. I combined the two colors, and the sleeves look like this. This is how the front looks. It has ribbing over here and has ribbing here. I made this sweater short sleeved. It's more of a t-shirt like thing going on, and it has ribbing at the bottom here too. This is how it looks and this is how the back looks. Yeah, so generally this is how the sweater looks, and this is a very easy tutorial. I'm sure about that. And again, please remember to subscribe. Let's get started with the tutorial. To work on this sweater, all you need is your shoulder measurements, and then we will begin with the back panel, then the front panel, then go to the sleeves, do the ribbing at the sleeve area, ribbing at the neck area, then complete the sweater with the ribbing at the bottom. We are using white yarn. This is 100% acrylic yarn and it's chunky yarn. So we are using color white and color red. You can use any other colors that you want. They are both chunky yarn and 100% acrylic. A 5.0 mm hook, this is what we'll use for crocheting, and a 2.5 mm hook will be used for joining. You can use a darning needle instead. A tape measure, stitch markers, and a pair of scissors. This is all you need for the project. As I said, you need your shoulder to shoulder measurements, and mine is 17 inches. So you'll start by making a slip knot. This is how I make my slip knot. And then we will do chains as long as 17 inches. So for me, I'm doing 60 chains, which is equivalent to 17 inches. Remember, this sweater can fit size small or size medium. I will meet you once you're done with your chains. I am done, and this is 60 chains. As I said, it's equivalent to 17 inches, which is my shoulder to shoulder measurements. Chain 2 more chains, yarn over, and we are working with double crochets. Skip the first 2 stitches. On the 3rd stitch, insert a double crochet. This is how we do a double crochet, and we are going to work with double crochets across all the chains that you'll have, and I'll meet you at the end. I am done, and this is row 1 of double crochets. It looks like this. To begin on row 2, chain 2, turn your work, and we are working with double crochet still, and we will work with double crochets across all the stitches, and I'll meet you at the end of this row. I am done, and this is how my second row looks. To begin row 3, you'll chain 2, turn your work, and we're working with double crochets across all the chains that you have. Basically, that's the pattern, and we will work like that until you get to where you want to change yarn. and then you can change your yarn. But if you're working with single yarn, you can go all the way up to the length that you want. This is the main pattern, which is double crochets, and you chain 2 to begin a new row. And always remember to turn your work. I will meet you once changing my yarn to red. I am done with the first part, which is color white, and this is 7 inches. I want to work with the red color. That is 7 inches, and my sweater will go up to 15 inches length. So the first part is just 7, the next one will be 7, then the ribbing will be probably 2 or 1. So to join my yarn as the basic way possible, I just tie at the end like this, and then make sure it's well reinforced and begin crocheting. I don't like the difficult way, so I choose this one, but I make sure it's tight enough so that it does not ruin your work. Okay, so once it's tight enough, you will cut off the excess, then continue with the pattern. I am done, and this is how my work looks. I went all the way to 15 inches. That is the length of my front panel or back panel, depending on whichever you started with. They're all the same. So my front panel was 7 and my back is 6. Remember, we'll also put the ribbing at the end here. So I'm going to put this aside and make sure you make another same panel. So you have 2 panels, which is the front panel and back panel, using the same measurements and same stitch. And now we will work on this sleeve. I did 1 sleeve. I will show you how it's done. And the white part is 3 inches, then 2 rows of red, then did the ribbing. And to get your sleeve measurements, make sure you measure your arm area. That's how you get your sleeve measurements. Okay, so we are going to start working on the sleeve, and we will use double crochets too. My sleeve measurement is 14 inches, which is equivalent to 50 chains. So we are just doing a slip knot first, and then we will chain 50. Remember to take your arm measurements. That's how you get how long you need to chain. As for me, my arm measurement is 14 inches and it's equivalent to 50 chains. So right now I'm just doing the 50 chains. I am done. This is 50 chains, and chain 2 more chains, and then you will yarn over, skip the first 2 chains. On the 3rd chain you will put a double crochet, and then you'll work double crochets across all the chains that you have. I am done, and this is how it looks. This is row 1, chain 2, turn your work to begin on the second row, and we're doing double crochets all through, and we will work up to 4 inches, and I'll meet you once we are there to change yarn. You already know how we are changing yarn, so we'll work to 4 inches. This is the second row. We are done. Chain 2 to begin row 3, yarn over, and we are working with double crochets still. So you'll work until the length that you want for your sleeve to reach, and I'll meet you once we are putting the ribbing. You'll do 2 rows of red color. You know how we insert the color change. So I'll meet you once we are doing the ribbing at the sleeve area. Okay, this is how it looks. If you want the exact length as mine, this is how long I chained. That is 4 inches. Then I just inserted 2 rows of red, and then I'll meet you once we are doing the ribbing. Okay, I am done with my stitches. Now we want to do the ribbing. This is how the ribbing looks. This is the outer part. It will look like this. So my sleeve measurement minus the ribbing is 4.5 inches. Actually the white part is 3 inches. Sorry, it's not 4 inches. Then I did 2 rows of red, and now we want to work on the ribbing area. I've changed my yarn again to white, so we are going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Those are 5 chains, and we will work single crochets across all the 5 chains. Okay, and I'll meet you once we are done with the single crochets across all the 5 chains. I am done, and this is the 5th single crochet. Now we want to do the reductions. We'll skip that stitch, go to the next one, and we are doing 3 slip stitches. That is 1, that is the 2nd slip stitch, and the 3rd slip stitch. Okay, once you're done with the 3 slip stitches, you'll turn your work like this. Skip the 3 slip stitches, then you go to the first single crochet, and we'll work single crochet in the back loop only across all the 5 single crochets that you did. And please always remember to count your single crochets. Make sure there are 5. Okay, so this is the 2nd single crochet, and we are working in the back loop only like that. This is the 4th, and on the 5th we will do a normal single crochet. We will not work in the back loop. We'll go into both and do a normal single crochet like that. That is on the 5th one. When you are done, you will chain 1, turn your work, and now we are working single crochets in the back loop only again. So when going up, it's single crochets in the back loop only in all the 5 stitches, okay? But when we're coming down, is single crochets in back loop only in only 4 stitches. Once you're done with the single crochets in all the 5, you'll skip this, go to the next and do 3 slip stitches like this. Once you're done, turn your work, skip the 3 slip stitches and go to the first single crochet that you did on the back loop only and do single crochet back loop only across the 4 single crochets, and on the 5th one we'll do a normal single crochet. I'm hoping you understand this, and that is the pattern, and we will work like that up to the end until you finish your work, okay? I'm hoping you understand this. If not, you can just go back and rewatch it again. This is how the ribbing looks. This will be the outer part. The inside part will look like this. It's a bit rough, but the outside part will look like this. So we're working across all the chains that you have, and I'll meet you once you're done with your ribbing. I am done, and once you finish, make sure you finish up by chaining 1, then you make sure your work is tight by tying a knot, and this is how it should look. You see it has reduced. That was a reduction that we are making. Go ahead and also do another sleeve the same way, and I'll meet you once you have your 2 sleeves done and your 2 front panels done. So you must have 2 front panels and 2 sleeves. And these are my 2 front panels. This is the first one, and I have the second one. Okay, now we want to work on the neckline. Fold your first panel into half like this. Make sure it's well aligned, and then fold it again like this. Okay, this is the real DIY. This is how you get your perfect measurements for the neckline. Once it's folded into the first half, then again the second half, you'll take your stitch marker and put it at the outer part. Just make sure it is really well aligned. That is the thing. And then you will put the first stitch marker here. I don't have my stitch markers, so I'm going to use the red yarn as a stitch marker. and we will insert the first stitch marker at the corner, okay, at the corner here. That is the inside part of our garment. The lighting is kind of annoying me. Yeah, so like that, and then put the second stitch marker on the outer part here, like that. Okay, so you have your 2 stitch markers in, and make sure they are well aligned. If it's not aligned, remove and put it again. They must be in the straight line at the corner, okay, like that. And unfold your work and it should look like this. This is how we get the measurements of our neckline. And the neckline, we will use color red. We'll just insert our yarn and start working on the neckline. It should be the same measurements on each side, okay? So reattach your red yarn, and we are working with double crochets up to the stitch marker, okay? So I just reattached my red yarn, and we're immediately working with double crochets until we get to the stitch marker. I am at the stitch marker. This is the last stitch, so remove the stitch marker and work a double crochet on that final stitch where we had our stitch marker, and it should look like this. Then chain 2, and now we are turning our work from here, and we will work double crochets all the way to the beginning, okay? Now we are turning from here. Remember, we are creating the neckline. This is how it's created. So work with double crochets until where you began from, and I'll meet you there. I am done, and this is how it looks. So we will work a total of 3 rows. Chain 2, turn your work, and we're doing double crochets up to where we started from, and we're just doing a total of 3 rows. So I'll meet you once you're done with your 3 rows, okay? I am done, and this is how it looks. So we'll go ahead and also do the same thing to the other side. These are a total of 3 rows. So we'll reattach our yarn on this other side and work also a total of 3 rows. We'll just insert our yarn just before the stitch marker, because the first stitch needs to be at the stitch marker. So that's why I put my hook just before the stitch marker, and we'll do 3 rows of double crochets. It looks like this. So you'll go ahead and also do the same to the other panel, and your work needs to be like this. Okay, and then now we need to join everything together. Okay, once you're done putting the neckline, it's now time to join everything together. Identify where you want to be your wrong side and right side, and remember we are working on the wrong side. So this is where I want to be my wrong side. All this will weave in using darning needle, all the yarn left lying around. So this is my wrong side, and we will join using single crochets, and we will use a 2.5 mm hook. Remember, you can use also a darning needle to join. Okay, so align your work like this, and then we are joining using single crochets like this. I am done, and this is how it looks. This is the inside part, looks like this, and the outside part will look like this. So go ahead and join also the other side, and I'll meet you once you have both your neckline joined together using single crochets. Okay, it should look like this. You're done joining the two together, you will align your work like this, the wrong side facing up, because you want to join the sleeves too. Take both of your sleeves, the wrong side should be facing up. This is the wrong side, and to get the middle of your sleeve, you'll have to fold it into two like this. Remember the wrong side facing up, and then you will put your stitch marker at the end here. Put your stitch marker here. I'm using my red yarn as my stitch marker, so you'll insert it here. That marks the middle part of your sleeve. Okay, like that. And also the mark the other sleeve too. Okay, now this middle part will go to the middle part of the neck area where we joined the neck area. Okay, put your other stitch marker here. Remember, we are working on the wrong side. The wrong side must be up. And put your stitch marker in the middle part like this. Okay, like that. The wrong side being up, put your work like this. Where the stitch marker is, that is the middle part. Make sure it's in the middle where we joined the two together like that, okay? That is how we find the middle part of your sleeve. Should be like that, okay? And then we will join. Make sure you don't move your work. It should be really aligned, because if you move your work, your sleeve will not be balanced. So make sure it's not moved, and then we will use our 2.5 mm hook to join using single crochets, okay? Where there is white, we'll use white yarn to join, and where there is red, we will use red yarn to join. I just find it much clean compared to mixing the colors, okay? So we're just joining using single crochets. I am done joining, and this is how it looks. Where there is red yarn, I joined using red yarn, as you can see, like that, and finished up with white yarn. This is the inside part. The outside part will look like this, okay? So we'll join the other sleeve too and join the rest of the garment together. We will fold it like this, making sure you working on the wrong side, and join the rest of the garment together using single crochet. Where there is red, use red yarn. Where there is white, use white yarn. And I'll meet you once you have your garment joined together. Okay, first start with the other sleeve, then finish up with the rest of the garment. So this is my garment joined together. Looks like this. And we'll have to turn this around so that we can begin on the ribbing. So when you turn it around, it looks like this. We want to do the neck ribbing and the ribbing at the waistline. Now we want to begin working on the neck ribbing. You will use our 5.0 mm hook, and we're using red yarn. We will join from the shoulder area. That's where we join our yarn, and we'll work we'll work double crochets all around our neck area. So reattach your yarn at the shoulder area here, and we'll work double crochets all around the neck area. It will be quite hard to work over here, but once you get down to the neck area, it's much easier. We're just doing double crochets all around the neck area using red yarn. So I'll meet you once you're done with double crochets all around the neck area. I am done with row 1 of double crochets round the neck area. Looks like this. This is just double crochets all round, and this is where we began from, and we will join using a slip stitch. Okay, once you get here, we will join using a slip stitch like this. Then chain 2, and we are working with front posts and back posts. Okay, so the first stitch here will go in like this and do a front post. This is how we do a front post. Yarn over. The next stitch is a back post. Go to the back of the stitch like this and do a back post. So we are working with front posts and back posts all around the neck area until you get here from where we began from. Okay, I am done with row 1 of front post and back post. This is how it looks. And to join, we will join using a slip knot here. We will go into this chain 2 over here and join using a slip knot like this, a slip stitch, whichever is okay. Then chain 2, and we are still doing front post and back post. Now it will be much easier because the front post and back post are much visible. So where there was a front post, we'll do a front post, and where there was a back post, we'll do a back post. And I did a total of 6 rows of front posts and back posts. Remember, we are joining using a slip stitch and just doing front posts and back posts. Okay, so I did a total of 6 rows. I am done, and this is a total of 6 rows. My work looks like this. It's so beautiful, looks nice. Okay, once you're done, you'll cut off your yarn. Make sure your work is well reinforced, and then we will work on the waist ribbing, and that will be it for this tutorial. So to work on the waist ribbing, we'll go at the side, one of the sides, and make sure you're working on the right side. Okay, even the neck ribbing, we are working on the right side. So insert your red yarn at the side here. I'm just joining, and then you will chain 10. Once you're done with the 10 chains, you will do single crochets across all the 10 chains, and I'll meet you once you're up. You're using the same ribbing that we used on the sleeve. It's the same ribbing we're using here at the waist area. So, but here we are doing 10 chains. I'm at my 10th chain. Remember to always keep this first stitch, go to the next stitch and do 3 slip stitches. Once you're done with the 3 slip stitches, turn your work like this. Skip the first 3 slip stitches. On the first single crochet, we'll go and work single crochet in the back loop only, like that, and we are working single crochets in the back loop only until you get to the 9th stitch, and on the 10th stitch you'll work a normal single crochet. Okay, so as I said, on the 10th stitch you work a normal single crochet, chain 1 to begin a new row, and we are working with single crochets in the back loop only across all the 10 chains. Always remember to count your chains, making sure it's 10. If you're working with 10, you can do, by the way, 10, 15, it's okay. So single crochets in the back loop only until we get up, then we will do 3 slip stitches. We up here, always keep this first stitch, go to the next one and make 3 slip stitches. Turn your work, skip the 3 slip stitches and work single crochets in the back loop only up to the 9th stitch. Remember, in the 10th stitch you always work a normal single crochet, then chain 1, turn your work, and you're working single crochet back loop only. So that is the pattern, and we'll work like that until you finish your garment. Remember, you're working all around the front and back panel. Okay, so this is how it turned out. Once you finish, you will turn your work the wrong side, and we are joining using single crochets, and we are using our 2.5 mm hook like this. I'm hoping this is clear. If it's not, you can kindly just go back and rewatch. I'm hoping this tutorial is easy to follow through. If not, you can just write on my comment section or my Instagram. Okay, so we are joining using single crochets, and this is on the wrong side. So we are done. It looks like that. You'll cut off your yarn and make sure it's well reinforced so it doesn't run. You'll go ahead and sew in all this yarn. I will do that off camera, and that's it for this tutorial. So thank you so much guys for watching the video. That's up for today's video. Please remember to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up if you love it, and I love reading your comments. So see you in the comment section. Goodbye, take care of yourselves, and I love you so much. Bye bye. Remember to subscribe.